Hi guys, it's Crystal from Enchanted Tarot. Welcome back to my channel for part 4 of the Friendly Tarot Deck Collection videos. I'm going to jump right in and start with this guy here. This one is one of my newest decks actually, so I have not really gotten a chance to do much. This is the Medieval Scapini Tarot. I believe this is really my only reproduction deck as far as like the classics go. Obviously I have my Rider-Waite-Smith, which is a standard, but this is really my only true reproduction. I do have the Wildwood Tarot, which I said was like a Visconti Sforza inspired deck, but this one is more along that vintage reproduction vibe. It is beautiful. It's a pip deck again, but not a true pip deck because you do have kind of this scene going on. I really love these cards. It's hard to show you, but the gold background here, my light is not that great. It's not gold foil, but it's almost like a gold metallic ink. So it gives the cards, the majors, this very almost 3D effect in person. It's really hard to capture on camera, but they're just really beautiful. And again, these are fairly new. You can see this kind of has more of a pip effect to it, almost like a Marseille. It is really new. This is one of the newest decks that I have. So I have not had a chance to talk with it, to get to know it, to read with it, but this is one that when it came in, I just found myself kind of endlessly flipping through it because it's just so beautiful, and it just feels like you know, something that should be in a museum rather than in my hands. Oops, sorry, my own leg just fell down. This is your Fool. So yeah, so this is the Medieval Scapini. I don't know, I was really excited to get my hands on it, by Luigi Scapini, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that. Okay, so let's see what I have next. Let's go the other end of the spectrum, shall we? Start with a classic deck and go to something a little more kitschy, a little more novelty with the Baseball Tarot. Now this is published by Workman Publishing. I believe I just saw that this deck, was being re-released by someone else. I can't, I just got my finger stuck in there. Don't do that. I can't remember where I saw this. The artwork was totally different, so I don't know if it's a true re-release or if it's just kind of a redoing of the Baseball Tarot. It is out of print. Here's your book over here. It is a big chunky book. It's out of print, but you can find this guy kind of all over the place on the internet, and you can grab them relatively inexpensively. That's what I did. It originally retailed for $20. Actually, I guess in comparison, I didn't get mine relatively inexpensively then because I paid slightly more than $20. Anyway, here's the backing, which it's so cheesy, I think. It's very like 90s, 80s. When was this published? Let's see if it tells me. I might have to go to the book. Just out of curiosity. We're going to find out together. Sorry, guys. Let's see. 1999. It feels like early 90s, this backing. But I don't know. I'm kind of into it. Maybe it's because I'm reliving my childhood. I don't know. I'm not sure. It is what you would expect. It is a baseball-themed tarot. Now, when I purchased this, I had a much more confident attitude about what I knew of baseball. I've been a baseball fan all my life. I was raised to be a baseball fan, and you know what? There's some terminology that obviously I don't understand to the full extent because there were certain things in this deck that oddly enough, like I just had a hard time understanding what we were talking about or why it was a thing. It is perfect if you wanted to gift this to someone who is maybe really into baseball, maybe not into tarot. I don't know, I feel like you kind of have to be into both to get the humor of it. The suits are different in this deck. Mitts, I believe, I gotta look it up because I literally, again, this was one of those decks that I did not expect it to be as as specific as it was. And oh, and that's right. This is the deck that has a really weird format, you guys. So we're gonna have to talk about that too. Let's see, does it tell us anywhere where these kind of, does it tell us where the suits? Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, here we go. Let's see. Mitts, balls, bats, and bases. So mitts are cups, balls are swords, bats are wands, and bases are pentacles. So there we go. Try remembering that though, because I already forgot what I just said to you guys. But yeah, these have a really weird layout because like here we have 6 of mitts, 7 of mitts, 8 of mitts, 9 of mitts, 10 of mitts. We should go into court cards, right? Oh no, wait, we have the 11 of mitts, we have the 12 of mitts, then we have coach, MVP, and ace. Back to the next suit. So it is really, really strange that for whatever reason they chose to omit like a knight page or page knight deal. I guess because they just couldn't find baseball terminology to work. I don't know. I don't know what the thought process was there. This is another deck that I had come in and I just kind of had gone through it and found myself totally overwhelmed because I was like, wow. This is, I mean, I don't know what I expected from a baseball tarot. I mean, it's exactly what it said it was going to be. But I guess I just thought it would be more tarot, less baseball. But it ended up being a lot of baseball. So this is one that I kind of need to get to know. It's fun. It's kitschy. Again, it is kind of a novelty deck. I had a fun time kind of going through this with my dad, who is a baseball fan. And, you know, I'd pull a card and kind of show it to him and then explain, you know, in tarot what that card would be, what it would mean, what it would signify. And he was like, oh, yeah. So that was fun. But yeah, a weird one. I don't know what I was thinking there, but it's here. I own it. And I plan to get to know it. So the next one is the Enchanted Tarot. This is the 25th anniversary edition. This is the one with the obscenely large cards. Here's your book, which has these beautiful color photos. But oh goodness, this deck is so big. And it's a shame because it came with this nice little bag though. People seem to really love this deck. Like when I read, anytime I offer this deck up, people tend to gravitate towards it. The backings are beautiful. Let me show you in comparison. Here's my universal weight. Like that, can you see that? That is obscene. It's so long. It's not much wider, but it's crazy long. And it makes them nearly impossible to shuffle. Like they're huge. So here we go. This is what your fronts look like. It's almost hard to even keep them in camera here. Each card, each suit has a different color, and then the majors have their own color. I don't know that I love the borders on these. I actually would really like to trim them, so that might be a thing. I don't know. I kind of go back and forth because I like having the titles on there for quick reference. So I might just trim just below the titles and leave just the titles on the bottom. Actually, that's a great idea. This might be my next trim job because I love this deck. I just don't reach for it because of how big it is. And I don't love the different color borders. I feel like they're really distracting when it comes to the images. You have enough going on in these images where they're kind of collagey. I believe the original deck was made, if I'm not mistaken, with different fabrics. They actually collaged different fabrics together for this deck, and it looks that way. It's beautiful. It reads really well. I think it reads with a really gentle voice, a really friendly voice. It's not afraid to talk about things that you know, maybe we're hiding. These are all reversed. I'm so sorry. It's not afraid of pulling things out onto the table that people aren't really looking to discuss, but it does so in a way where it's not so confrontational as to upset anyone. I don't know. It just has a really good way of kind of finding the truth of the matter and putting it out on the table. So yeah, I think I just decided this is going to be my next trim job, because I love, excuse me, I love this deck. I just don't reach for it because I don't love the size. Hey guys, it's Crystal from the future popping in here because I actually, for once in my life, took my own advice and did trim the Enchanted Tarot, and I just wanted to show you guys real quickly how that came out. I think it's infinitely better. It's still a little too large to shuffle, so that kind of is what it is, but I wanted to just pop in and show you what it looked like trimmed down. Of course, these are all reversed. I also edged mine in this bronzy color because even though the backs are kind of gold and white, the gold that I had was a little too yellow, and initially I thought this bronze matched, but it really doesn't, but that's fine. I still really love it. And if you follow me on Instagram, you did see that my trimming of this deck was a little controversial because Amy Zerner herself, who is the artist of this deck, who created all of these beautiful fabric collages, commented on my photo, which I have never had happen, and was not pleased that I took her borders off. So I feel bad, but at the same time I feel like it's you know, more of a testament to how much I like the artwork and I like the deck, that I did take the time to trim all 78 cards because I wanted to make it something that I actually wanted to work with. So that was an interesting little tidbit. I don't know if I can actually like put the interaction over here. I'll try to. If not, it's still up there on Instagram. So she was not pleased, but I am actually very pleased with how these cards came out. So I just wanted to jump on and throw that in here real quick. All right, back to the video. So there is that. Next up, we have the Green Witch Tarot by Anne Mora. And here's your book. It's a nice size book. You have this big black and white image and about a page and a half for each card. I think the majors might have a little more. Yeah, about a page and a half. I love this deck. Oh, I did not put this in here the right way. I love this deck, although the backing reminds me of Christmas. So there is that. I just finished working with this deck a little bit and I really enjoyed it. I feel like, I don't know what I feel like. I feel like it is very straightforward, very honest, but again, very loving, very gentle, very, I don't know. It just kind of has that female energy for me. It has kind of that ancestral energy for me. I really like using this and the the Wildwood Tarot. I don't even own the Wildwood Tarot. Why would I say that to you guys? The Wildwood Tarot. I like to use both of these with some of my more ancestral work. I will show you the Wildwood Tarot next. But I like to use these for ancestral work. I feel like they resonate with that for me anyway. Yeah, so that is the Green Witch Tarot. I like to use these also with my more ancestral oracle decks. I feel like they kind of bounce off of each other and work really nicely. So yeah, that is the Green Witch Tarot. I very much enjoy it. Again, not the best card stock, but I like the deck itself. I like that it's borderless as well, by the way. All right, next up, just put that to the side. Next up, as I said, is the Wildwood Tarot by Mark Ryan and John Matthews, and the illustrations, of course, are by Will Worthington. Here is your book, which, how awesome is that image? And again, a nice book. You get a decent amount of information. These are the majors, and the minors you get a little less. You get kind of a page, or half a page, I guess, by the time you kind of put it all together. And I did trim mine. I could not stand the borders on it. I thought it detracted from the artwork immensely. Will Worthington's artwork is beautiful, and yeah, I don't know. Oh, here's the backings on these. The one thing about trimming them is that you do leave this one little line there if you wanted to keep your titles on. I know some people don't. Some people take the titles off too. I wanted to keep my titles, so I unfortunately have to live with that little white line on the back. It is what it is. It doesn't bother me. Again, I prefer them borderless, and I'll take it. Again, so this is another deck that I think reads very beautifully. It reads really well for ancestral work. It feels old and wise and very pagan, very earthy. I don't know. I really enjoyed this one. And I wasn't sure if I was going to. This was not something that I gravitated to right away. I kind of grabbed this deck because the opportunity arose for me to get it, again, at a very decent price. And I'm glad I did, because I didn't think I was into it until I got it. And I was like, oh, yeah, no, I really love this actually. So that is the Wildwood Tarot. Oh, keep pulling up that reading cloth. And let's put this back. Boop, 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 boop. See, again, I hate these boxes with like that's annoying. With the split in the deck, kind of drives me crazy. Anyway, so we only have 2 more for this particular video, and then I will save the rest for another final video for the light decks. Next we have the Osho Zen, and this is one that I hadn't heard about, and then all of a sudden it was like everywhere I went I saw it. Here's your book. It's a decent sized book. Now again, this is another one that's kind of outside of any normal system, not normal system, but any system that I know. It is 79 cards. There is an extra card, I believe, for Osho himself. Yeah, the master. You'll see this is definitely in order. Oh, is it? Oh yeah, I thought that said B, and I was like, what's a B? Just kidding. These are the backings. I haven't worked with this yet. Again, this is another newer one that came in recently for me, and the artwork is beautiful. I do find this deck really intimidating because it is kind of far outside of my comfort zone and what I'm familiar with tarot, and I feel like this is problematic too. Like, I feel like you can't pull up a schizophrenia card for some people. I feel like that's maybe not the best word choice. So I remember going through this and being like, I don't know. But yeah, I feel like it just reads differently. It's so outside of what I'm comfortable with. Like I said, outside of my comfort zone. So I haven't worked with it yet. I am excited to. The artwork, again, is so beautiful. And I feel like even if you just wanted to read this intuitively, I know a lot of people have. You certainly could. And I don't know. I don't know if that's the route I'm going to go. I don't know if I'm going to go intuitively and just see what happens, or if I really want to kind of dive into the book first and see what kind of goodies lie in the book. But one I'm glad to have, one I'm excited to get to know. I just haven't, you know, right now I'm working on kind of studying one deck at a time. And as I said in one of my older videos, right now that is the Wise Woman's Tarot. So once I'm done with that, I can start to kind of tackle some more of these learning decks, if you will, study decks. Okay guys, so the next deck is the DaVinci Enigma Tarot. This was a deck that I had my eye on for a little while. Let me see if I can zoom out a little bit. My dog is in the background back there, so if you see movement, that's what that is. This is one that I had my eye on for a while. I didn't really want to spend the full amount on it because it was just a little more than I was looking to spend, but I got a great deal on this one, and I'll show you why. This is my own bag because the cards were just kind of free-flowing in here, which was driving me crazy. But this is why. I got a great deal on this because there was writing inside the box, which I don't care about the box. But here is the book. You see you get a decent amount of information. Hopefully you guys can see okay. My lighting is not that great right now. These are your minors. You get a you know, page. But this deck is really interesting because, well, there's a few reasons. Let's pull it out. Ooh, 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 my finger's stuck in the bag. So these are the backings, and they actually show you the order to place the cards to make this pattern. It's kind of hard to see. Hopefully it'll focus. I mean, these are so small you can't see, but these are all kind of different. But yeah, so if you lay these cards out in that specific pattern, they make kind of like a big tapestry, which I thought was kind of cool. The other thing that's cool about these is they are all based off of DaVinci's sketchbooks. So his drawings, some of his lesser known ideas, lesser known sketches, lesser known artwork. Whereas, you know, when you think of a Da Vinci Tarot, you'd probably think of, like, you know, the Statue of David, the Mona Lisa, the Vitruvian Man. This is a little more obscure, a little more deep diving. And because of that, this is very much going to be a study deck for me. Don't mind that squeaking, that's my dog with his ball. But yeah, I want to understand, you know, what it is that I'm looking at. I want to understand the sketches. I want to understand how they kind of correlate with the cards of the tarot. You can see I have shuffled this deck, but I have not started working with it yet, just because I want to be able to devote a good chunk of time to the deck and to the book. And right now I am working with the Wise Woman's Tarot still, so this is on the list. There's the Vitruvian Man. But this is on the list of study decks for me, along with the Thoth Tarot and a couple others. This is just one that I find really interesting. If you are a Da Vinci fan, if you find, you know, the man himself to be fascinating, his artwork, his ideas, his, you know, inventions, this might be a really cool deck to pick up, because again, it is a little outside of that framework. Sorry, we had dogs barking because my kid ran through the room. Fun. But it is a little outside of that framework when we think of Da Vinci. This is, you know, this is kind of a deeper dive into his mind, into his world, and just a really cool deck. And I love these kind of silver and gold backings. I think are really nice. And it's a decent cardstock. It's not the best cardstock, but it certainly isn't the worst. So I think it should hold up fairly well to use. Again, I bought mine secondhand, so I don't know if if the box originally came with something a little more secure. But mine, like, these cards just kind of laid in the box and would kind of get smashed all over. Oh, I can't get the book back in. Oh, what is going on? There we go. Would just kind of get smashed all over. So I did put them in this little silver bag to keep them safe. The box is kind of an obnoxious size, and it's not the sturdiest box. So, but whatever, you know, boxes aren't the most important thing. So that's the Da Vinci Enigma Tarot. I'm gonna go ahead and stop here because I think we've exceeded 20 minutes at this point. I'm a little crooked, that's fun. Thank you for joining me, you guys, and stay tuned for part 5, which should potentially, possibly be the final part of the Friendly Deck collection series. I'm not sure. We're gonna see if I can fit the rest of them into part 5. If not, then there might be one more. If you haven't already, please subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you'll see when my new videos come up. At this rate, I'm posting about 2 videos a week. So the next one should be up next week, either Monday or Tuesday. We'll see how that works out. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.